Hey everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where it's the beginning of the week, so it's time for a minion roulette. This week our minion is Mammoth number 003G for getting the Gridanian hunting, the Twin Adder hunting log complete. Alright, today we are beginning a side story. This is a series of quests which is ongoing. There is a new story in this series with every expansion, except for Shadowbringers, they took a break. But with every expansion, they release a new series of chapters in this story, and it is one of my personal favorites in the game. It is very much a slapstick comedy style of quest story. Slapstick is just the best way to describe it. It's very, very funny if you are into that kind of thing. And they also use this specific quest series specifically to help them practice like cutscene animation in order to help them like push the boundaries of their animation tech so they can have higher quality cutscenes in the main story going forward. So, one last note before we get started. This is also a follow-up to a side quest series that was back in 1.0. And it is one of the reasons I really wish I could play 1.0, because I want to see what this quest series was like back in that original release of the game. But, sadly, that is not available. So instead, we're just gonna have to settle with what we have available, which is still top tier, fantastic, I love it. Hello, Wymond. An old acquaintance of Wymond is at wit's end, and the businessman would have you help her. I hear you've been busy as a bee, Satora. Seems half the whispers what come my way relate to your comings and goings. Being the active type you are, I reckon you'd be interested in investigating some queer rumors, am I right? But before that, let me ask, ever heard of a man named Hildibrand? No, Satora has not heard of Hildibrand before. To hear him tell it, he was Eorzea's greatest and most famous inspector. Still, can't say I'm surprised you don't know him. To his credit, Hildibrand and his assistant had a knack for showing up when something shady was afoot. As for sussing out the culprits, well, he had his moments, though I hesitate to give him sole credit. Any road 5 years ago, he gets it in his head that he's cracked the code of Messiah's 7 verse. Dalamud, the Calamity, all of it can be stopped, he says, so long as he finds the hero of prophecy. And wouldn't you know it, the hero is Hildibrand himself! So he flies off towards Dalamud. Aye, that's right, he flew! Launches himself straight into the air somehow, ridiculous as it sounds, and of course it's only logical that he's got to come back down, though it was only recently that we found his body. I had reason for bringing this up. Alright, so Nashu, Hildibrand's erstwhile assistant, has since become an inspector in her own right. At present, she's investigating the queer rumors I mentioned earlier. She's a sweet lass, a bit daft, but sweet nonetheless, so when I hear she's at wit's end, I want to help. Thing is, I prefer to meddle in the affairs of the living. Zombies are most definitely not my forte. So if you're willing, I'd be grateful if you lent her a hand. As for where to find her, she's like to visit Hildibrand's grave in the Lich Yard when she's frustrated. Try looking for her there first. And so begins Hildibrand. Let's head off to Camp Drybone and go check out the Lich Yard. Alright, hello there, church, and hello there, Nashu Makaraka. Okay, I'm curious about something. There's a running joke in the Hildibrand quest series where there is a particular NPC who can usually be found somewhere near Nashu. I'm not a fan of this joke, to be honest, but I wanted to see if I could spot him here, but he doesn't appear to be around. Anyways. Oh, if only you were still alive, Inspector. You'd know how to stop these zombies. Ah, you there. Could it be... You've come to offer your services to me. I have indeed. You must be Nashu. Oh, but where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself. Ahem. My name is Nashu, Agent of Inquiries, Extraordinary Inspector. At least, that's what I'm trying to be. It's not quite as easy as he made it look. Inspector Hildibrand was a great man, a real Eorzean hero. We traveled the world, me and him, solving cases and thwarting evil. No matter the mystery, you could always count on the inspector to solve it with grace and style. But then there was a final case. The case of the century, he called it. How to stop the Red Moon from destroying the world. To save us all, he flew into the sky, and all I could do was watch. But then he came back down, and he... I'm so sorry for your loss. This is all a joke. A big funny joke, right, Inspector? Any moment now, you'll burst out of the ground and shout, "Surprise! How'd you fooled, eh?" And we'll laugh and laugh? They say no one remembers the Warriors of Light. Their names, their faces, all gone forever. But I remember you, Inspector. No, Gentleman Hero Hildibrand. I can never be the hero you were, but I'll do my best to try. I, Nashu, Inspector Extraordinaire, will carry on your legacy. So I told myself, well, Nashu, there must be a leader, a head zombie who tells the rest what to do. Therefore, all we need to do is kill him. Again, that is. Unfortunately, I don't know where he is or how to find him, but now that you're here, my faithful assistant, you can try the one good idea I've come up with so far. Damn, she really was going off while we were having an echo vision. If you go to where those dapper zombies were last seen in southern Thanalan, you might find them. And then you could, you could become their friend and ask to meet their leader. Yes, that's sure to work. Oh, she's trying so hard. She's trying so hard to live up to him. I've never tried making friends with a zombie, but I don't see why it would be hard. Just moan, groan, and pretend to be dead. I mean, I can try that. Alright then, on to southern Thanalan. Alright, here in southern Thanalan, we are passing by Little Alamigo, and we're going to be flying quite a ways south for this. Thankfully, the fate we are looking for is Fallen Corpses Rise in Style, and it is nearly always active in South Thanalan, specifically because of this quest. They decided to make that fate almost always up and active, so you should never have to wait too long in order to do it. So we're flying down to the western path, past Zonrock, towards the Sagoli Desert. And here, a band of zombies has been exhibiting uncharacteristically civilized behavior of late, which has greatly unnerved the people of Thanalan. Dispatch the dapper zombies, dispatch the dapper undead for the benefit of the living. Hey, you back off. None of that. And you know what? Let's get Juniper out while we're at it. Just to make this a tad easier. Once we get the Amalja off our backs, we'll be able to really focus on those zombies. They're not, the Amalja are not part of the fate, they're just in the way. Okay, how many of these zombies are we gonna have to kill, I wonder? It shouldn't take too long to kill them all off. They're not particularly dangerous enemies. They're more dapper than anything. Alright, who's next? You over there. Okay, we're at halfway done. So far, so good. They have not even gotten a hit in on us. They're so weak and fragile. You are neither a gentleman nor a zombie. Well, I'm sorry my disguise isn't working out. Turns out fighting zombies is not a great way to pretend to be a zombie. Wait, which one's attacking me? You! Oh goody, the Amalja are back. I'll deal with you now, I suppose. Okay, what's the next zombie? There you are. Okay, another zombie over here. Looks like we are getting close to the end. Just a couple left. The fate will be clear. What I am curious about is if we're going to get an Atma out of this. We did! Nice! Okay, that was an Atma of the Scorpion, I believe it was. How many do we have? I think we have more than enough. Don't worry about what the Atma are. Yeah, we've got way more than enough. Don't worry about what the Atma are. We'll get to them. It's a relic weapon thing. Now then, we got a curious parchment out of them, so let's return to Nashu. I believe she's going to be back up at the Lich Yard. Alright, Nashu, I returned and I found a curious parchment from fighting the zombies. I didn't quite make friends with them, but... Did you find the zombies? You did. That's wonderful. I've been busy too. The head zombie will rue the day he meets me, you'll see. So tell me, what did you learn? I found a parchment. Writ upon this map of the Zaguli Desert in a flamboyant, flowing hands are the words, "A gentleman is rather than does." Oh, so you weren't able to make new friends. That's a shame. But this parchment, this is a map of the Zaguli Desert. There's a spot marked here in the south, and look, there's something written here. A gentleman is rather than does. That sort of reminds me of, well, no matter. Let's see where this map takes us, assistant. Onward to the Zaguli. And back we go to the depths of the Zaguli. You know what? Let's make this easy on ourselves. We'll just teleport right to Forgotten Springs. I've got plenty of Aetheryte tickets. It's free. Because otherwise, that would be a long flight. Also, I love the Rising Phoenix mount. In theory. In practice, it's so bright. Okay, so heading on to the southeast of the Zaguli Desert. Ah, I know exactly where that is. Past Byregot Strike. And onto that hill over there. Where, of course, there are plenty of zombies around. Hello there, Nashu. What can we find here with all these zombies? I don't think I misread the map. Maybe they're just shy, though. I say we call out to them and let them know we come in peace. And when the leader shows himself, we strike. we could call out the Scion's code phrase, but a gentleman is rather than does. Who summons the gentle dead man? They live, and we hunger. My brothers, lend me your ears. A gentleman does not dine upon his guests. Spare these two fair ladies your mastications. Withdraw, I say, and harass them no more. Up in the sky, look, it's a bird. No, it's an airship. No, it's the inspector. We hear and we obey. It is you! It really is you! I knew nothing could kill the great Inspector Hildibrand. Hildibrand? Who is this Hildibrand of whom you speak? My name is Zombiebrand, Devourer of Brains, Undead Overlord Extraordinaire. What are you saying? You're not an undead overlord, you're a gentleman inspector. Inspector, overlord, inspector, overlord. Oh, Inspector, you're just confused as all. Don't worry, I'll knock some sense back into that noggin of yours. Stay your hand, my lady. You know not what you do. Even if I were the esteemed gentleman you purport me to be, the concussive force of the blast is more like to liquefy my... If crashing into the ground made you forget, then an explosion of equal force ought to make you remember. I'll save you, Inspector, or kill you trying. See? Even you acknowledge the possibility that this plan will result in my... death. Normally, I would applaud to your ingenuity, Nashu, but I would have preferred that you found a more elegant solution. Ah, he remembers me! Inspector Hildibrand remembers me! Yes, I remember you, my faithful assistant. What I do not quite remember is how I came to be here. Oh, such a wonderful dream. I slew a dragon and... What is this place? And for that matter, who am I? I, Hildibrand, Agent of Enquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, have awoken at last. I always knew you'd come back to us. Be it Red Moon or Black Dragon, no fiend is a match for my legendary might. And who might this fine lady be? Could she perhaps be one of my many admired? Oh, but what is this faint tingling sensation in my arm? This ringing in my ears, this dizziness. Could it be a case? A case indeed. And so begins the tale of Hildibrand Manderville, Inspector Extraordinaire. Next time on Final Fantasy XIV, our first case with Inspector Hildibrand. My favorite himbo. I love him. And Nashu. They're both so good. I'll see everyone next time as we get back in the saddle.